Hey guys, it's time to do my out-of-box review for the HGUC RX-78-2 Gundam Revive version. Now once again, this is the second in the Revive version after the Guncannon. If you want to go check out that review, I did that one not too long ago. I thought that was a pretty cool kit. It definitely improved my thoughts of the Guncannon in general. And this one, I mean, I already held the Gundam in pretty high regards anyway, so this one wasn't really going to do a whole lot in terms of like making me like the design because I already did. But what was important for me was just seeing how this one was going to compare to the past high grades and the real grade. I also want to compare it to the real grade just because it's 1/144 scale and fairly recent. Of course, the real grade Gundam has been quite a few years, I guess, since that came out, but I think I just want to compare that one as well, just because for people who might be looking for a 1/144 scale version of the Gundam, I think it's fair to include that one as well. Before we get into the rest of it, I just want to say thank you once again to MindFenix Hobby Store for sending me this kit. If you guys are living in Australia, please go check out their site. So this Gundam, there was the original HGUC Gundam, and then there was the version G30th, and there's been a lot of different versions of those here and there along the way. I'm going to compare it to this gold one. This is the one that I have on hand at the moment to compare it to. So what does this one bring to the table? Well, they advertised it as bringing some better proportions and better articulation was like the big selling points for this. I think it's safe to say that better details was not in their concern at all, and if you compare this one to the version G30th, which we're going to do shortly, you'll see that the amount of details that this one has is very, very minimal. So I think that should be one deciding factor if you're trying to decide which kit of the RX-78-2 you want to get. This one does, of course, probably have the best articulation and the best proportions, but what I would argue, and what I don't really need to argue, it's pretty clear, this one does not have the most details. So if you wanted a kit that had a lot of details, I would say go for the version G30th. If you want a kit that has a lot of part separation and details and inner frame, then go for the RG, of course. If you just want a super basic, kind of old school looking HG kit, then get the original HG. This one I think also has a really awesome price going for it, at just listed as 1,000 yen. It's a really great price. Of course, it's pretty basic and only comes with the regular standard Gundam sort of accessories, which we'll take a look at momentarily. I think that it's very fairly priced, I think, as well, so it's definitely going to be worth picking up if you're a fan of the Gundam and want to check out what you're going to be able to do with this kit, because you're going to be able to do some really, really nice posing and stuff with this kit. So why don't we take a look at some of the articulation and some of the details closer up now. So starting off with the head, basically the only parts that are molded in the colors are the red top part and the red chin. The eyepiece, if you remember from the unboxing, I guess there's that under eye part is red too, but the clear piece, if you remember from the unboxing, is in like clear yellow. So that you could just do some painting and then just basically like a reverse panel wash to get some really nice clear yellow. We had some chrome stickers that we stuck up behind that part too, to just make those like extra shiny. At the moment now I just have the eye sticker on there, so I didn't paint those, so they're not like as shiny and like cool looking as they could be if you just did something like a reverse wash technique on there. There's also a sticker for the red camera on top and then the red camera on the back of the head. So as you can see, the head is going to go up about that far. I think one of the gimmicks of this kit was to be able to do like the shooting straight up pose, but the head could tilt up a little bit farther, I think. But that's going to be the limit of that. Down about that far. It is on the same kind of HG double joints, so you're going to be able to move it back and forth like so. Now the shoulders. The shoulders are probably one of the most interesting new gimmicks, new design features of this kit, because usually we have that polycap joint that swings forward, but what they've done is they've taken that polycap and made you put it in vertically so that it's going to swing out like this or like this. It's going to swing out, up like that, and then of course you can move the arm all the way up to do something like that. So you're going to have the arm able to go up almost perpendicular there, almost totally vertical, really nice. So that is cool. I definitely like that a lot. When I saw that advertised, I thought, yeah, I don't know how really all useful that's going to be, except for like a vertical shooting pose. But it does come in handy quite a bit for a lot of posing. If you want to bring around the Gundam to do some sort of like punching like this, you can bring it up like that. Works really nicely for that. The arms otherwise are very simple but nice. Of course, we have a really great double joint here in the elbow, which is not going to give us totally 180 degrees, about like that, but I mean, that's basically all you're going to want, right? So, and then the same sort of thing, rotation here at the top. Pretty stiff, but that's good, I guess. And then the wrist is just a standard ball joint wrist. In the waist section, it had the same thing that we had going with the Guncannon, where the way that it attaches is not like two ball joints straight up and down, but it's one ball joint straight up from the waist to the stomach, and then from the stomach to the top part, it attaches via like a polycap or like a peg ball joint that's facing forward. So anyway, we're going to get a really nice forward ab crunch bend like that. So some really nice crunching motion there. Side to side, it's not really anything, sadly, so not getting much there. But and then back, nothing. But going forward, it's got that there, so at least that's got that going for it. On the back, the thrusters don't move at all. Nothing on the backpack moves. Of course, you can take out the handles, and then you can plug in the shield there on that port there. The back skirt does not move either, but we can take off this panel, and that is where we can replace that with this one, which is going to hold our bazooka. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that in there now, because we'll take a look at the accessories shortly. Side skirts are normal, just up and down. The front skirts are normal, as in they were connected, but you can just clip them in the middle and separate them to have your separated front skirts. The legs are very normal for recent nice HGs, so rotation there. They're just on a peg up inside the skirt, inside the waist. Really nice double joint there in the knees. Of course, the RX-78-2 leg is very simple in its design, so it shouldn't have any hindrance in getting a nice 180 degree bend there. The ankles are just standard. I mean, really nothing too special about the ankles. They only go side to side a little bit like that. I found this ankle, the skirt armor does actually kind of hinder it a little bit, I think, or I'm not sure where the hindrance is this ankle armor or somewhere inside there, but it is a little bit hindered more than I expected it to be. It's going to go forward about like that, that's good, and down like that, that's pretty good, but I don't know, it does seem like to be a little bit lackluster compared to some other points, but that's really nitpicking, because the ankles, I mean, there's really nothing wrong with them at all. Under the feet, we don't have full detail. We have this part that you're going to have to either fill in or cover with a piece of plot plate. That's kind of disappointing, that we have a really nice detail all around here, and then this toe section that's just empty. So like, it's kind of, I wish they would have either gone totally one way or the other, but we got it kind of half and half like that. That's pretty much it for the kit. If you noticed, we didn't really have any notable seam lines around here on here at all. On the front of the leg, there's nothing that's covered with a piece there. On the this whole front part is all one piece. On the back, we are going to have a seam line here on the back of the leg going all the way down there, but that shouldn't be too hard to get rid of. This thigh piece is all one piece, so there's no seam on that at all. On the arm, it's hidden by just the fact that there's this detail there. So the seam is there, but it just looks like a detail on the back as well, so nothing there. You could maybe get rid of that if you wanted to, but I think it's supposed to be like that. And then on the top of the shoulders, it's the same thing. We've got this seam hidden in just a detail line, just like a panel line. So that's it. So really nice, I think, in terms of just the overall construction of the body. I think the proportions are really good. I think in the pictures, I don't know why. In the pictures, it just didn't really look like all that different, or like the proportions were all that better, but now that I'm able to like see it in person and hold it, I can see that the proportions really are a lot better. It's really nice and thin. It also could just depend on what your ideal proportions are for the Gundam. I like that it's really tall and narrow and thin. I think this shoulder armor is like more narrow as well, kind of a little bit more vertical, pointed here at the bottom. That kind of helps with like the vertical thin look of it. So I like that. I think that's what I like about it. It looks like really fit, like really trimmed down. like a very in-shape Gundam, so he's been exercising very well. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other accessories if we really need to. I think you can probably use some imagination. On the hands there, we've got our just holding hands. No closed fists, sadly, but instead of that, we do have something else really nice. We have some really nice open hands. So a left and a right open hand here that are, like I said, both looking really nice. The back of the palm, the back of the hand has no detail at all. It's a little bit plain, but I mean, as we saw in the kit, the whole kit in general is a little bit plain on the details. The hands, however, do have a lot of really nice detail inside the hand, so that is good there. And then we also have our trigger finger, so we're going to be able to use that for the rifle and the bazooka as well. So here is the beam rifle. Very standard, I think, not, I mean, nothing to write home about here. It's going to be pretty similar to every other Gundam beam rifle that we've had. The secondary handle moves, the sight moves, and that's that. No peg system here on the gun at all, nothing like that. It's just going to be held in place by the fact that the trigger finger has a, or just that the, yeah, just by the trigger finger. And then we have our bazooka. Again, just pretty standard looking bazooka here. Nice detail around. I like this bar here on the top, and then we have some nice details there on the back. And this handle is going to move forward and back, so that's good. Better than a stationary handle, so we're going to be able to move that. And the barrel, we're going to have a seam going like from this piece to here, but then the barrel is just one piece, so that's nice that we don't have any actual seam on the barrel. So I like that. I just have to get rid of it on this part and then underneath as well, which shouldn't be too hard. And then we have our beam saber effect parts, 2 of these for our 2 beam saber handles on the Gundam's backpack. And finally the shield, again very standard shield. Underneath, as always, a lot of really nice detail there. Just a fixed peg for fixing that into the arm or the backpack, and then this handle is able to move as well to put that in the Gundam's hand. So mounting this on here, like I said, is very easy. To just plug that in there. You don't have to use the handle at all. Just plug that in and it's good to go. If you want to hold this on the back, just stick it down there like that, and then it's all set in there. While we're here on the back, the bazooka is also going to just fit onto there. Very simple. And the rifle, of course, doesn't fit anywhere but in the hand, so let's just go ahead and put the trigger finger on the rifle. And there you go, there's the Gundam loaded up with all of its accessories, at least all of its weapons, I should say. Here's a comparison with the version G30th. I'm sorry, because it's the gold version, it's going to be a little bit difficult to see all the details that we've got on there. But if you can't see that very well, anyway, just take my word for it that the version G30th is quite a lot more detailed, but as you can see, it's also just shorter, a little bit shorter. I think maybe it's kind of hard to tell on the camera, and they look pretty close, but it's maybe like 2 millimeters shorter. Could just be the stance as well, though. And then just wider. I think you can see a lot of change there in the shape and size of the shoulder armor. So yeah, I think it is safe to say that the proportions on this Gundam are going to be better than previous versions, but again, if you wanted one that has a lot of detail, you go for the version G30th. So here's the first pose I'll show you with the weapons on there and everything. I think getting this up on an action base and just being able to pose this up is where you're able to see like why this kit was such a big idea. As I've said in past videos, like there was so much publicity and we were seeing so much of this kit like before it came out. I almost got kind of tired of looking at it, but like getting my hands on it and like working with it on an action base, or even standing too, was really nice. But like working with this kit, you can do some amazing posing with this, and like it really is awesome. So I can say for 1,000 yen for this kit, like I would definitely say you have to buy it. When this kit was first announced and I saw like what they were intending to do with it and the price of 1,000 yen, I said like that everyone should just pick up this kit. But then like as we sort of went along, I thought, nah, well, I don't know if it's really going to be all that great. So I kind of stopped saying that, but now I can definitely tell you guys, definitely pick up one of these kits. I mean, it's the granddaddy of Gundams. It's the original Gundam. If you're a fan of Gundam at all, even if you're not really a big fan of the RX-78, pick up this kit and give it a try because it is awesome. So I mean, just taking a look at what you can do with it here. I mean, this literally, like, sometimes with some kits it takes a little while to get it posed in like a pose that looks cool. This pose literally took me like 10 seconds to pose it like this. Just like brought the arms up like that, put the head up, bring this leg forward, and that was it. Like, we had this like awesome looking pose. So that's great. Like, I love that. And because I think the final shooting pose is a little bit played out, I decided to change it up a little bit and just, I mean, have him not just standing on the ground and just kind of like flying or floating in space and doing a similar kind of pose, just so you could see the gimmick of putting the arm straight up in the air and shooting straight up. As I said, I kind of wish the head would go up a little bit more, but that's not really too much to complain about. One thing that I know I did forget to mention is that here on this crotch piece, that yellow V, that's a sticker there, but then I think that was pretty much it for all the stickers. They were just the ones on the head and then that one there. But anyway, as you guys can see, again, this pose didn't take me very long to get, and it looks really amazing. I think this would be even like a kit that, for the price, you might even want to buy like 2, 3, 4 of these, just so you can have them like in different poses on your shelf, just to show off how awesome they are. I'm really, really loving this kit, like, more and more. Every time I put it in a new pose, I'm like, wow, that pose looks awesome, and then like change up the pose and like, wow, that looks awesome, and change up the pose, and yeah, you get the idea. So if you guys haven't been convinced yet, then I don't know, maybe I better show you a gallery of a few more poses. So yeah, why don't we just wrap up the review now for what I'm going to speak over. Then at the end here, I'll show you some more poses of the kit. I feel like that's probably appropriate now. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, leave those below. If you got the kit, what do you think? Did I change your mind to get the kit? If you were not planning on getting it, let me know. Anyway, enjoy some of these awesome poses of this awesome kit. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.